this video, we're going to start talking about the 4 C's, and we're going to start off with clarity. Now, when we talk about clarity and the clarity scale, we're going to be referring to the scale that was developed by GIA, Gemological Institute of America. That's the standard in the jewelry industry, and so that's the one I was trained by, so that's what we're going to go with on this one. So the clarity scale starts at flawless and internally flawless, then it moves to VVS1 and VVS2. And there's a little line between those two. Then there's another line and it goes to VS1, VS2, another little line, SI1, SI2, another line, I1, I2, I3. So what do those stand for? Flawless, internally flawless, I think we understand that. Then the VVS stands for very, very slightly included. And there's subcategories of those, VVS1, VVS2. Now, what is included, or what is an inclusion? An inclusion is what, in the jewelry industry, is what we call the things that are inside of a diamond, the clarity characteristics. Some people call them flaws. We've tried to stay away from that term. Some people call them carbon spots. They aren't carbon spots. But in the jewelry business, we call those inclusions. So VVS1 and VVS2 are very, very slightly included, 1 and 2. Then you can move to the VS, which is very slightly included. Then SI, which is slightly included. And then I1, 2, and 3, which is included or imperfect, 1, 2, and 3. So what do all those letters and numbers mean? Basically, if you are looking at a clarity chart, if it's I1, I2, or I3, that means you can see an inclusion in the diamond without the aid of magnification. And if it's above that, if it's an SI2 or better, it means you can't see anything in the diamond without a 10-power loupe or microscope. So whenever we're talking about buying a diamond, my advice to our customers is to stay in the SI1, SI2 range. And the reason for that is because if it's a true SI1 or SI2 diamond, you're not going to be able to see anything inside that diamond without the aid of magnification. My personal opinion is, if you have to use a microscope to see it, how much difference does it really make? If you give an engagement ring, or if you're wearing an engagement ring, and one of your friends whips out a loupe and starts looking at your diamond, you've got the wrong friends. Move on. You can get the VS and the VVS, but the thing is every time you jump one of those little lines, one of those little imaginary walls, the price goes up considerably. Now, if VVS or VS is important to you for some reason, then by all means get them. Just understand that you're going to pay more for something that nobody's ever going to see unless they're a gemologist or a jeweler and they're going to use a loupe or a microscope to check out your stone. One of the things to keep in mind whenever you're looking to buy a diamond, so on the clarity scale, we talked about SI1, SI2. Sometimes when you go into a store or you go online and look, you're going to see SI3. SI3 doesn't exist. The clarity scale was designed by GIA, and GIA does not recognize SI3 as a clarity. SI3 is a stone that is an I1 that they don't have the guts to call an I1. They're trying to make it sound better than it actually is. And it doesn't matter how hard the inclusion is to see. Remember, an eye clarity diamond means you can see it without magnification. It doesn't matter how hard it is to see without magnification. It doesn't matter where it's located on the stone. It doesn't matter what color the inclusion is. If it's visible to the naked eye, it's an eye quality stone. If you have to take the diamond and you have to take the loupe and look at it to find the inclusion and then pull away and now you can see the inclusion, it's still an eye quality stone as long as you see it without magnification. So don't let anybody try and trick you with an SI3 clarity grade. And then I1, I2, I3, my personal opinion is that you never buy an eye quality diamond as an engagement ring. They're okay for earrings, they're okay for pendants, but for an engagement ring, you don't want an eye clarity diamond. And the reason is because in the store with the lighting and with it perfectly clean, you might not be able to see the inclusion that much, but you can still see it. Once you're wearing it, once it's in a mounting, once it has a backing, once it starts to get dirty, that inclusion stands out even more. And once she sees the inclusion in the diamond, every time she looks at her engagement ring, all she sees is the inclusion. She doesn't see the diamond anymore. Every time she looks at it, all she sees is the inclusion. And do you really want an imperfect diamond to represent your love? I don't personally think so. So my personal opinion And my suggestion to people who are buying diamonds is stay away from eye clarity diamonds when you're buying an engagement. So that covers clarity. In the next video, we're going to cover color. I think color is also very important because you can see color from across the room. You don't need a microscope, you don't need tools to see color. So stay tuned for our next video. And between now and the next video's post, if you have any questions about anything that I've said, like anything explained a little further, leave a comment and I will include it in one of our future videos.